Dumb football questions, boys. Let's start with this one from Zach Viking fan. I love football, and I have a 10-year-old son. You guys love football too? You guys?
So do I. I enjoy
both those.
I enjoy
I'm a
a good
fan.
casual romp on the yard.
Yeah, sounds good. He has a 10-year-old son that watches all the Vikings games with me, he says. Occasionally, we'll watch other games as well. I want him to watch. I want him to learn. How do you guys have boys who are getting into football for the first time. How do you guys handle watching the games with your boys and answering all of their questions? I want my boy to learn all that I know, but man, sometimes I can't handle answering all their questions during the game. I answer as many as I can before I run out of patience. How to help me as a football father, he wants to know.
Dude, you're not the only one. Because during the Super Bowl, I looked at Johnny and was like, shut up. It's enough. It's enough of the questions.
That's enough.
That's enough. I can't do anymore. He was literally like, Dad, what is this? I go, it's a 3x1. He's like, how do you know that? See enough 3x1s, bro. What do you want? What the fuck do you want? I'm trying to figure out this play. I'm trying to figure out what the defense is doing. I'm like, you're asking me too much. Literally, my wife was like, you can't ask him questions. He's going to blow. He's going to blow. It's hard, but I'll tell you what, there is no better feeling than watching the game with the boys. Like your boys, it is so fun because we have a big couch in the basement, and so the boys will come down here and watch with me, and it's fun when everyone's quiet and they're kind of getting it, but then it gets like super crazy. But that's how kids are, and I feel like it's hard for kids to watch a football game because there's so much talking while the game's going on, and they're kind of like, what are we even watching? Like, they're like, this is not how our games look. And I'm like, yeah, it's different. You know, they'll stay for about 10 minutes and then they're gone. Gone.
Yeah. My son, my 4.5-year-old loves football. Like, and that's because it's all I do, right? He comes down in the basement. I'm watching college football. I'm watching tape. He loves sitting here watching tape with me. And like, as I'm rewinding fast forward, he's like, why are they going so fast? He's like, who are we watching? I'm like, oh, we're watching this guy. And like, he's starting to learn the NFL teams. Like, he refers to the Vikings as the Horns. I'm like, oh, did the Horns win? Right? Like, and he's starting to figure out he's a huge Giants fan for some reason. Right? Like, massive Giants fan. I mean, I think it's because John Michael, my client, got drafted, so I talk a lot about the Giants.
Yeah.
So, like, huge Giant. Like, he'll cry if I tell him the Giants lost.
Oh,
but
no,
he
dude.
just emotionally. I know. I was like, buddy, you're setting yourself up for a lifelong.
You're not getting drafted. You're not getting drafted number one, crying to dad like that. Okay?
But you know, he loves just being a part, and it's something to do with me. Right, it's something to do with me. It's something to do with my wife, and we just kind of make it a normal habit of our household. Right, Sundays we watch football. Saturdays we watch football. It's how Daddy tries to provide and put food in your little belly, like all those things. But again, the questions come and go, and you just answer them. But eventually, there's a time where like, buddy, just watch the game.
Just watch the game.
Just watch the game. Your little brain can't comprehend what you're looking at right now. Like, so just watch the game. I'll explain it to you when you're older. And he goes, when I'm an adult? Yes, when you're an adult, I'll explain to you what's going on. Like, okay. And so he'll tell people now, like, you know how 4-year-olds bar Boone. They'll be like, my dad said when I'm an adult, he'll tell me how to play football. I'm like, oh my God, just shh.
Sorry, Karen. Sorry.
Watch the game.
He's excited.
But no, I think the big thing is just make it fun for him. Right, just make it fun, answer their questions, but also teach them there's a time to be quiet and not talk to people like on the final drive of the Super Bowl. Don't ever let your son be that guy. Don't ever let your son be that guy.
Did you play in the NFL? No, I'm an accountant. Shut up.
Yeah. If it's the final drive of the Super Bowl, don't speak to people. Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Dude, it's so funny you say that he's a Giants fan because Bear's the biggest Niners fan because we have obviously all the helmets around the house. And so he woke up the day after the Super Bowl and was like, did we win?
Yeah.
No, dude, we lost. And he was so mad. He started throwing his stuff around the house. Chill, bro. Chill. You're not as mad as I am.
Yeah. How do your kids, I mean, Booney, you're starting to see it now. How do they choose a team? Because you guys have your teams you've played for.
Yeah.
And Jay lives in kind of neutral NFL territory in Nebraska. Booney, you live in Minnesota. So
yeah, they're also Vikings fans. Yeah.
Kid, I just realized my kid stole my Chargers helmet. I don't know what it is. Dude, they play football. They literally, my kids put the helmets on and smack each other until one of them cries, and it's usually my daughter. So,
that's amazing, dude.
But I mean, as far as picking a team, I don't know. I think just eventually it's gonna be who we watch the most.
Yeah.
Like I feel like as young, like we watch a lot of Giants in this house. Like we do. We watch a lot of Giants. We watch a lot of Bengals. Right.
You and Johnny are Bengals fans.
As I get more clients in the league, and we watch, and I think a lot of it too will be what game do I take them to, right? Who is Oliver's first NFL game? Right? If I do, because I'm going to take him to a game next year, whether it's Giants or Bengals, like early season before it gets too cold. Like I'm going to take him to a game, and sometimes that's all it takes is just one time. He's 5 years old, and he gets a chance to rub elbows.
Panthers Cardinals game.
Yeah, right. Like no, I refuse. I'm gonna set him up for some type of success, right? And so just I think a lot of that's how it was. I mean, I grew up in Denver, so it was really easy being a Broncos fan in the '90s when they're winning Super Bowls and John Elway, Terrell Davis, and all that. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's just going to be who we watch the most, especially for me being regional, kind of where I'm at. I refuse to let them be Chiefs fans. It's not going to happen.
Jay, if we're taking boys to the game, you guys better let me know.
Oh,
Kidding
for
me?
sure.
Bear
Yeah.
wants a hot dog and a fucking pretzel so bad. Every time
That's
we
the
go,
problem, dude. You take those kids to games, you're feeding them $50 worth
So
of freaking
much.
food.
Dude, we
like
go
it's
to
just
hockey.
nonstop. I'm hungry. It's like here's a foot-long hot dog. Shut up. I'm hungry. Here's a bucket of popcorn.
Shove it
right?
in.
Like it's just they're just constantly eating, and everything's so expensive.
it is, dude. We go to hockey games like every night, and every night Bear's like, "Can I get a pretzel?" I'm like, "Dude, enough with the $5 pretzel. Fuck. I'm so sick of feeding you this."
Key High wants to know on the subject of food here. It's a dumb football question, but more of a dumb food question. He says, what's your favorite wing flavor, everyone? I'm currently big on Caribbean jerk dry rub, then tossed in honey habanero with ranch dip.
Jesus.
That's his favorite. That's very specific.
I'm all about the, if you go to Wingstop and get the Atomic, I'm all about the Atomic.
What's wrong with you?
No. I love spicy shit. You didn't know that?
Atomic? I know you do, but Atomic, that ruins your meal.
I
No,
can't
it
do
doesn't.
that, man.
It's
No.
amazing. I love it.
And
Too
your
bad you every
stomach
time you go to
doesn't
Wingstop, they fuck the order up. So I'm done going there. Like I'm just letting everybody know if you go to
Well,
Wingstop.
Unless they want to
Let's get them
sponsor
out
this
for our
podcast.
sponsorship,
Yeah.
huh? No more Wingstop.
Hey, the
here.
Wingstop in Cali was amazing because the rookies always had to go get it before the game. I mean, it was phenomenal. But the one in Minnesota is crap. I'm just going to be honest. I'm super pissed off. The Atomic's not even hot enough.
Boone here for Wingstop.
Yeah.
Find your. I'm a dry rub guy, and
Okay.
I love spicy foods. They don't love me, so I have to I'll eat
fair.
spicy foods, but it's got to be like a Friday night where I know I can kind of like maneuver my way around
Saturday
at home,
morning.
you know, yeah.
Be near your throne, your porcelain throne.
It can't be a Sunday night, or I'm gonna be. I'll tell you what. So we had there's some spicy stuff with our Super Bowl spread. It's Super Bowl Sunday, man. Let's just say on Monday morning, that spread took a 3-0 lead on me before 7:30 a.m., dudes.
More like 7-0.
3-0, man.
Fighting the uphill battle.
Pepto-Bismol for breakfast.
How old are you, Mac?
12.
My tum hurts.
My tummy hurts.
I got spoiled because I got to live in the like wing kingdom of the world in Buffalo for 2 years. Bar Bill Tavern in Buffalo. Shout out Bar Bill Tavern. They'll actually send you wings, which I've ordered from there. They have a honey butter barbecue Cajun that is unbelievable.
Talk dirty.
With a homemade blue cheese.
Oh,
It is by far and away my favorite wing, hands down.
Let's go
Not
right now.
even
That sounds
close.
amazing.
talk dirty.
Oh, I'm
Honey
gonna go to. I
barbecue
need. I want to
Cajun?
go out to a Bills game next year. Like I want to climb on the Bills' back because I want to go back out there. I want an excuse to go back to Orchard Park, and I will go out there to Bar Bill Tavern and just gorge myself on wings.
Sounds
Oh, my
amazing.
God, dude. Yeah, I've never been to Buffalo, New York. Never had.
I mean, Buffalo's not. I wouldn't call it a destination city. Orchard Park wouldn't call it a destination.
Yeah,
city.
could you make it a couples trip, or is that tough to sell? Do you think
That's a tough sell. The old
Tough
lake.
sell.
I mean, you can start the lake on fire. Not necessarily somewhere you want to go.
Hey, you leave that lake alone, okay? I
That
used to
lake
live by
is
that
disgusting.
lake. I used to
That
live
lake
by that lake.
Is disturbingly disgusting.
Probably why I am the way I am. We used to swim in there a lot.
I saw pictures
Lake
of you as a
Erie?
child Shrek. Easy.
Was gorgeous. I mean, just ginormously large.
Yeah, this dude was Shrek.
6'8"
16.
At like fourth grade.
I'm envisioning like the first Friday the 13th movie where Jason Voorhees comes out of the water.
Yes,
and, like,
yes.
Like,
there's
that's
mutant-
Alex
literally
went
what it
in a
was.
normal 12-year-old child and came out as like
Jason Voorhees.
yeah, he just
literally.
came out as a giant Shrek.
Dude, I showed a picture one time to Jay. I'll never do that again. See why you don't show people silly pictures? Because they
We
just
were all
never
excited,
forget.
like, oh,
They
look at this
never
fun
forget.
moment with me as a kid. And he's like, you look like.
He
Dude,
was like, our,
have you not seen this picture, Mackie?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you. I'll find it. It's
Group
saved
text
somewhere.
thread.
It's saved somewhere. I'll find it. But yeah, we'll share it on the O-line committee because it is wow. Anyways, continue.
I got one more for you here. We got to do some film breakdowns too. Nick Correa has a dumb journalist question.
Ooh.
Ah.
Scribes and pundits.
Scribes
That's a
and
stupid
pundits.
question. No question.
Scribes and pundits.
I'm not
Hey,
surprised.
Mackie, what do you and beat writers in general? And now I was a beat writer at one point in my life. I am not a beat writer right now. All right.
Disclaimer.
We'll get to that. Okay.
Disclaimer.
What do you guys think about Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, etc., and that brand of hot take sports entertainment? Would you ever want to go that route if presented? I feel like Purple Daily has gone that route sometimes. But that's why it's one of the top 15 football podcasts on
Oh,
Apple.
nice.
I'll answer that question, but I'm wondering for you guys, like you guys come from the player side. What are your thoughts on the different types of, you've interacted with beat writers we've talked about on the show, but then there's like the sports entertainer side, the guys that would never show up and say it to your face, but that get paid millions of dollars on ESPN and Fox Sports 1. This show lands in the middle somewhere, I feel like.
I think those dudes are nothing more than entertainers. Like you said, I don't take anything that they say serious. I know that their end goal is to get clicks and likes and shares, and that is the end goal of their whole existence for being on a show like that. And I don't blame them for it. Make a great living, right? But it bothers me when people take what they say as gospel. Like, you have to understand what these guys are doing, right? Just be a little self-aware of like, yeah, this dude doesn't actually mean that. And you can go back and look at takes from 6 months ago that were so completely and totally wrong, and then now he's basically saying the exact opposite with the same piss and vinegar that he had 6 months ago. And everyone's like, yeah, look at that. Like, it's an entertainment. I don't take anything those idiots say seriously.
Have you seen, it's from like 10 years ago, Merrill Hodge debating Skip Bayless on ESPN about Johnny Manziel pre-draft?
Yeah.
And Merrill Hodge is saying, I've got like a 6th round grade on him for, in terms of talent. He's not even a 1st rounder, but then you mix in all the other stuff, and I think he's a 5th, 6th rounder. And Skip Bayless
loses
is
it.
Apoplectic. He goes, "This is the most wrong you've ever been about a football player. You're gonna find out this, that, the other."
Yeah.
And by the way, Merrill Hodge is now saying not the same thing about Caleb Williams, but he is saying essentially,
Yeah.
I don't know about this guy.
Dude, football players know football. And I mean, I'm with Jay. They're clearly entertainment. I think at times it pissed me off when something that they said disrupted our team. Like the minute that they had a hot take and all of a sudden it fucked with someone on our team, I was like, all right. Because I always saw that as somebody kind of taking a shot at us. And so it was my job to go back out into the media and throw it back in their face. There was a lot of times I told Skip Bayless, go fucking pound sand. Called him an idiot, Stephen A., dumbass. I don't care. You are exactly that. You're an entertainer. I can't stand it. And I mean this to my fucking core. When somebody stands up there and says something about football that didn't even fucking play, shut up. Nobody gives a fuck what you think in this room. And that's all I care
Mac.
about. No, it's true. I get hot. I got real hot.
Eat shit, Mac.
Not like that. No, because beat writers are right. Beat writers are just there to do their job, and they'll ask you real questions. But when you come out of nowhere and you just start throwing kids under the bus, because Jake can laugh, but he would see how that would affect some of the guys in our room, and we'd be like,
No, dude, I'm with you, but it's just we're sitting here and Mackey's like,
no, I never said that about beat writers. Dude, I used to love beat writers because they'd come in and ask me real questions.
Haven't takes.
No. You can ask a question, but don't make a hot take about my teammate that's going to fucking ruin my week 14 because he's literally like, oh, God.
I'll be sure to take that into consideration next time I talk about Kirk Cousins.
No.
By the way, dude, last week, Josh Metellus came into our studio. I work out of the Hubbard Radio studio sometimes in Minneapolis. And Josh Metellus, Viking safety, comes in, and I'd never met him in person. Now, we had praised him for the last 12 months on Purple Daily. He's the queen on the chessboard. He's this integral piece. And he comes walking in, and I go, "Oh, Josh Metellus." And I didn't know if he knew who I was. He goes, "Purple Daily, Mackey." And I was like, "Oh God, this is either going to be
good or bad,
really good or awful." And I even said that. I'm like, "Okay, so you consume the show." I said, "Is that good or bad?" He goes, "Nah, you guys are cool, man. You guys are cool. Some guys get pissed. Some guys don't like when you criticize them, but you guys do your homework." I think the key is for beat writers. If you beat writers are on the ground in the locker room, like
all the time.
You're there reporting information largely, right? And so if you come from a place of curiosity and not knowing everything, you can build good relationships, right? You don't know how to play offensive line. So come from a place of curiosity and ask people that know what they're doing. But there's also a component of holding organizations accountable that exists, and that can create some friction if the organization is, stumbling around and guys need to be called out. on the entertainment side, and that's kind of like where my career has wound up after being a beat writer for a long time, is I hop on a microphone and I entertain football fans and Vikings fans. But at least, like, speaking for myself, I will at least attempt to tap into people that have played in the NFL, people who have, on the Twins side, I've got 2 former Twins general managers in the baseball world that, like, hey, am I going to sound like an idiot if I say this? So I do think, and I'll tell you what, like, Stephen A is super plugged into the leagues too. So he talks to people that sometimes those guys will form their opinions based on things that are told to them from people that are in the game.
That are close.
So there's a certain level of homework I think that you should be doing if you're in one of these spots to serve the audience. But
the beat writers are not bad. They just ask questions, and they ask real questions. And I think that's why it sometimes gets frustrating, is because they know so much. And suddenly they push a button, and you're like, don't do that. Don't do that. And they're like, and they keep digging, and you're like, stop. Please, there's 10 cameras on, and I can't answer this question. Where it's like the entertainment, they just throw out reckless speculation, and then all of a sudden every fan in your city hates your fucking receiver, and you're like, well, now that's not good for anybody.
Speculation.
That's just not good for
I got a
anybody,
sounder
right?
for everything. Come at me,
And
bro.
then dude, it's like that. But that's why I see them differently. Like the beat writers, I always love, and there was a few of them that would, like, the minute they got some dirt, they were like digging, and you were like, please stop, please don't do this to me on a Tuesday. But then all of a sudden, you can't stop the guy on ESPN that's playing at lunch. It's literally like, this team sucks, and you're like, fuck.
I think what we've learned here is Alex has become one of my great friends over the past few years.
Oh,
and
yeah, for sure.
despises what I do for a
And
living. Is what we
dude,
found out.